outside-in perspective, that you bring as somebody who was the accidental leader of this organization was, I get what our business is doing, and therefore I can apply that to learning and say this isn't just about having a good learning experience, it's about all these other things that we're creating. But you've been in the learning role for a while now, and so is there a danger of you losing sight of some of those things? And how do you stay in touch with what the business is trying to achieve, what your business partners are trying to achieve?
Yeah, and that's a great point. I call it the echo chamber, right? And I live in an echo chamber, and in many respects, it's a bigger echo chamber than some. But part of what we do very deliberately, to ensure that we're not just being influenced by sort of the thoughts and knowledge within our organization, is that we have sort of a very deliberate process where we're working with thought leaders within our industry. We're working with thought leaders outside of our industry. Certainly, it's been our experience that innovation, that disruption doesn't happen at the core. It happens at the margins, and ensuring that we have good line of sight on that is very effective. And we do this in a number of ways. I spent a lot of time at Cornell University, and I'm back and forth upstate New York, looking at what they're doing, particularly in their graduate school with individuals. And I tell individuals that if we can teach MBAs via remote learning, there's no reason why I need to drag bankers from all across the nation to New York to train them on sort of sales practices, right? We can leverage some of these innovations that many of you talked about, to help us do that. We spend a lot of time with Apple Computer understanding, what are they doing to those individuals at the Genius Bar to make them geniuses, right? And it's not just about the drive-by in terms of moving someone through training. What's the sustainment process to ensure that we're building on, those skills, the knowledge, the behavior? We spend more time than I care to admit, or maybe more money than I care to admit, with Deloitte and some of the individuals within that practice to really understand sort of some of these frameworks that Josh Burson and others have developed. I personally spent time with the Chief Learning Officer of Accenture, talking about what they're seeing in the market, how they're delivering these capabilities as well. So really ensuring that we certainly incorporate our culture, our ethos around what it is we do, how it is we do it, but also ensuring that we're purposefully engaging external partners, understanding what they're doing, how they're doing it, and where appropriate, bringing that back to help infuse in our DNA a more thoughtful approach to how we execute adult learning.
So that's the part of it that is making sure that you're staying in touch with what's happening in the learning community. What about what's happening in your business, in JPMorgan Chase's business? If you mentioned, there's things like mobile banking. There's the Apple experience that is reshaping people's experience of interacting with everything. How do you stay in touch with what's happening in the business side of it and make sure that what you're doing in learning ties into that?
So there's a number of ways in which we do that, and we have what many of you may refer to as bureaucracy. We refer to it as management routines, by the way, where we do what we call quarterly business reviews, with our business leaders, right? So we understand sort of what their key objectives are.
You do this as a learning organization.
We do this as a learning organization, that's right. So this notion of building metrics, having a book of work that understands sort of what we're developing, and I should just step back for a moment. As I think about our learning organization, we're organized in centers of excellence where we have instructional designers that are part of our team that do nothing but sit down, storyboard, design digital assets, design curriculums for in-classroom instruction. We have faculty of over 400 facilitators that are on trains, planes, automobiles every day, sort of engaging our business colleagues around instruction. We have sort of an administrative unit that supports our learning management system, that big monster, the beast that we try to get everything administered in and train and track everything it is we do. And we have, a lot of other ancillary activities as well. But what that allows us to do is really roll up on a quarterly basis, sort of a quarterly business review that allows us to illustrate, who we're touching, what are we instructing, what are the L1s, I don't want to beat up on the L1s because we do use them, what are they telling us in terms of the effectiveness of our facilitators, of our content, etc. And we show up to our business leaders and we take them through sort of our learning overview that says, we've trained 5,000 of your people this month in these different programs. Some of them are new hires, some of those are reskilling programs, but we provide, again, not a bureaucratic process, but a management routine that really allows us to engage folks in a thoughtful and deep way around what it is we're doing. And with that engagement, really understanding any shifts in priorities that occur, and they do occur from time to time, really to make it a point that we're chopping the right wood for the business and we're doing the things from a prioritization perspective that truly are aligned with what they're trying to affect with their customers, with their processes, etc.